Hello, everyone. Very good evening. Welcome to Harvin, and we will start our session. My name is Praveen Pashupati. I am a facilitator for this afternoon. I'm associated with Harvin for quite some time now, and I'm into Six Sigma training, green belt and black belt. So let's get started. Am I audible? Thank you. Yeah. So we at Harvin, we started in the year 2013, and we are based in San Francisco, California. We are working towards a continuous improvement in terms of development of as an organization, also improve the diverse knowledge of our audience and the participants. We concentrate mostly on industry and academics, and we always take up people to a next step towards their career as well as knowledge imparting. So what do we do? We are currently present in India, Sri Lanka, San Francisco, and Beijing. And what we actually do is like we have for people who have been benefited by us by from our delivered knowledge in terms of self training or as well as instructor led training, and we also do training in terms of vendor management and the corporate company trainings as well. So we are specialized in different courses. However, this particular course is, enables you to get acquire enough knowledge as per of Six Sigma is concerned. We have two major departments of Six Sigma where projects of Six Sigma is green belt and black belt. This is what we will be talking about. So, what is this training all about? Six Sigma is a term which gives you enable you a company to get benefited by reducing the variability, reducing the unnecessary scraps, rework, avoid any kind of loss that which occurs due to quality rejections. Wherein there are different levels of Six Sigma where you start with yellow belt or directly these days you can start with green belt. In green belt is a 28 hours live training session. It can happen both on weekday and weekend, and it will be instructor training, so where you can ask your doubts, clarify any type of questions that you have on your mind. And we also give you a project support 24 hours. Like you can do a certification with us and you can do your project in your company, or we also provide you monthly projects to go ahead and use or learn yourself as a practical trades-on experience. In addition to this 28 hours of live session, we also have a boot camp which happens monthly, where we go ahead and do training on a weekly basis so that you would have your hands-on experience continuously. And one important thing is that your training does not end with just this 28 hours. Even after completing your training sessions, you have a weekly brush up sessions. So where on every Tuesday there is a schedule allocated and you would receive a link to join. So you can be joining the sessions on a weekly basis to get your week-on's updates and also to discuss about your projects and any questions that you have on mind. So it's a one-time login and you will continuously have support towards your future. And to talk about Six Sigma yellow belt, black belt, we have a 36 hours live training and reminding everything remains the same and the module is enhanced to excel in your career. So, but the first question to be asked is why Six Sigma and what does it going to make in my differences in my career? See, Six Sigma is a term which talks about eliminating risk, eliminating unnecessary risk, unnecessary loss, unnecessary rework, unnecessary scrap, and improve the efficiency to get your company optimal working at a 3.4 accuracy per million defects. However, the question to be asked is how are we going to do it and what is the methodology that we will be using? In Six Sigma, we have three different methodologies which I will take you through on a quick overview today and also to tell you what are the major opportunities you as an individual have. So the company gets benefited, and as a company gets benefited, you also grow in the career. And there's a lot of opportunities which evolves around business excellence. I'm sure you all have heard this term called business excellence, corporate excellence, where this is going to be one of the fast growing industry, irrespective of whichever domain or whichever industry that you work with. There is a corporate excellence, there is a business opportunity for improvement. So people when they get certified as a green belt, black belts, and master black belts, there's an open window in the market where we have lot of recruitments happening for specialists. And also we at Henry Arvin, we provide employment opportunities for our students once they complete the training, once they get certified. We also have a uh, full of jobs where we recommend our trainees, and many people have been successfully trained and joined the company's corporate there. Before I proceed, I just wanted to reiterate in the chat box there is a link which is given for the attendance for this evening. I request everybody to mark your attendance so that it's easier for us to take it forward. So now let's start with what actually happens in your Six Sigma training and post Six Sigma training. So we give you a hands-on training, not only a theoretical knowledge, but we also go ahead and give you a complete knowledge in terms of hands-on as well. See, we also give you a theoretical knowledge on weekdays or weekend whenever your classes are, post which we request you to take up a project, and we'll tell you what type of different projects that you can work upon. The first thing is the quality life of your organization as such. See, your quality, when I say the quality life, it can be about the production industry, manufacturing industry, or even the hospitality industry, irrespective of irrespective of any industry that you belong to. The quality of improvement is definitely done. See, I request. I'm sorry for sorry. I request you to click on the link which is given in the chat box. There's a link which has been given by Henry Arvin. Just click on the link and then update the attendance. I see many of you typing present here, but I request you to click this link once again and then mark your attendance, which would definitely help us. Thanks. So now, and what is the benefit that you and your company is going to be getting out of this particular project? You will work on the total time in terms of reducing turnaround times, and at the same time working upon the roll throughput yield. So you may be asking, what is this roll throughput yield is all about? Roll throughput yield is about getting a qualified product at the first instance by avoiding you scrap, unnecessary reworks can be avoided, and irrespective of how much ever filter, how much ever quality standards that you have, you would clear it at one go. That's what this is all about. And then we also provide in terms of uh, idea about different call center experiences, BPO voice, how to reduce the average AHT, for example. This will be a different kind of a project, and reducing die casting, because die casting is one of the most prominent industries these days where we find most of scrap. So we provide you projects in terms of reducing die casting, and also to improve your square root back activities for improving your internal quality statistics. So these are different kind of projects which we support during the course of the training and after the training as well. So now we in value add, we also give you a hands-on training in Minitab. So during the training course, Apur Sagu, where I request you to mute yourself. So we go ahead and give you a hands-on training in terms of Minitab, what are the important fields in Minitab, how can you use Minitab as a quality-friendly tool, because like we all of us use mostly in Excel. However, Minitab is one of the best tools that which is designed for quality professionals to make our life very very easy. And it is important for us to understand Minitab, and we would give you a hands-on training in Minitab as well, along with the 28 hours of training session or 36 hours of training session that you enroll yourself for. And upon completing this project, upon completing this processes and projects, what are the things that you will be familiar with? You will be definitely well versed with all the terms and techniques, tools and used in Six Sigma. We will also suggest you about the different kind of tools for different kind of standards for different kind of industries that you will work with. And we also suggest you how to start a problem statement and end the Six Sigma policies, Six Sigma projects, and the step-by-step methodology will definitely be taught. And along with that, we also present you a different kind of as an ideal candidate and for a role for any Six Sigma role or professional that you are looking for. So all these would be definitely happening towards the end of the training session. And we also have a mock test which are happening during the training session. So you will be evaluated before your real certifications. So we have a phase-wise test. After end of every Six Sigma phase, you will be having a test to evaluate your self-knowledge and to understand. So which would definitely help you to concentrate and I focus on the important pain areas where you feel that if this you're not clear or you need to go ahead and check. All right. And it is the course is the course has a very nominal fee, and we will definitely discuss about the fee as during the day course of the day. So I see a couple of hands up. So in case if you have any questions, please let me know. Praveen, so are you have any questions? All right. I take that as no. Now is that better? As the volume, I mean the background noise has come down. I request everybody to go on mute if you don't have any questions. In case you have any questions, you can definitely unmute and ask yourself. You can stop me any point of time if you have a questions, but I request you to be on mute in case if you don't have anyone. It's a request. Can everybody go on mute? All right. So now, what are the different Six Sigma responsibilities, roles and responsibilities that we have? We start off with champions. Champions are the one who are the project owners, who are the implement solutions, who are the agent managers, who gives you the complete. I'm sorry, there's Praveen. You have any questions? You can ask me because I'm trying to mute again. I request you to go on mute because there's a lot of background noise. Thank you. For others, am I audible? Thank you, Praveen. Thank you, Manoj sir. All right. So now we were talking about champions. So what do champions do, and who are they? Champions are the ones who are the project owners who gives you the complete idea. As the term says, champions are the ones who have real knowledge and experience in terms of Six Sigma. They guide you on a step-by-step process, and they also suggest you the implemental solutions, how to implement the best solutions, how to get your project successful. And then we have somebody at the lower level of called Master Black Belt, who is completely working as a Six Sigma professionals. So this is going to be your role when you once you get trained. You will start with green belt, then you can move as a black belt, and then you can become a master black belt and champion. So you have four different levels of training where you can take up, and you can definitely become one project owner where you have a lot of scope in terms of on the market at the same time a learning curve to work upon different projects. So master black belts is someone who works completely on projects, who does not only stop there, who trains and coaches the black belts. Say I'm a certified master black belt where and we have a pool of trainers who are certified master black belt champions who keep training all of us and we impart knowledge in terms of for the fresh minds who come up. And we have black belts who do a full time again as a Six Sigma person who works on different projects, who facilitates the problem solving, who helps you in terms of guiding the projects and the closure. And finally, we have green belts. Green belts are the one who are like part timers, helpers. Just to start off with, you will be starting with part time to participate in a project. Who will be owning a project. But if you join Henry Arvin, we go ahead and help you to become a black belt directly by giving you projects. Though you are a green belt certified, you will have exposure of doing different hands-on projects, so which would help you to become a black belt easier. So it's one of the good opportunities to start with. If you are not already trained, it is good to start with a green belt, get yourself trained, and then take a combo pack of black belt where it will help you to move up the ladder easily. And we have lot of opportunities today. If you just Google about Six Sigma openings or opportunities in Naukri or any of the job website for that particular matter, you have a various pool of opening for people to come up. You will at least you will see a minimum of 10 to 15 openings which comes on a daily basis for these roles. There's a lot of demand for Six Sigma certifieds, so it's good that you will be able to easily pick it up. Am I audible now? Is it better? So, and then green belts are the one who actually works on the floor, who helps the black belt to get certified, to get the projects done, and to get the problem solving. And on the other hand, it applies to everybody, every employee, every company, any concept that you work with. You will definitely excel because the project members, any knowledge that you get is useful. And here, you are going to save a substantial amount of money to your company by reducing the eliminating of waste or reducing unnecessary standard deviations, unnecessary errors that are happening. Imagine that you are from a different industry where like every money counts, every penny counts. So that definitely by reducing a scrap lot of unnecessary value adds, you will definitely save money, which your company will be better. And part-time there is also somebody called as yellow belt, who was nothing but like I was about to come in there is specified that 20. So like yellow belts are the one who are the team members who are just trained on the basic tools how to collect data, the person who collects the data, who supports it, but they are not certified as such. They are certified just in terms of knowledge imparting. They assist the green belt and black belt in the project as a physical support, and white belts are the person who participates in the team. They are not that equipped, they are not trained completely on Six Sigma methods, but at this point of time today in this competitive world, you can directly start with a green belt. You don't have to go with the yellow belt or white belt. You can start with directly green belt. Yes, green belt is certification as a charge, but with we at Henry Arvin have a early bird offer since we are in the beginning of a financial year. So all the certification is also included. Okay. All right. Just a minute. So now let's move on to Six Sigma. What is Six Sigma? I wish you can directly go to black belt, but we need, unfortunately, no, we need to complete green belt. We need to get certified, and that's when you can directly, then you can go to black belt. But we have a combo offer where you can take green belt plus black belt together. So now let's move on to Six Sigma. So what is Six Sigma? The term Sigma and Six Sigma is little confusing to different people. They find it to be same, but they are two different methods. The term Sigma means standard deviation. How far the process is variant or the process is different from the actual methodology of performing. It's called Sigma, and Six Sigma is six times the standard deviation, where we take plus three standard deviation, minus three standard deviation to understand whether the process is within control. We at Six Sigma talk about three different methodologies: normality, stability, and capability. Normality, stability, and capability, to understand whether the process is operating at the optimal level, which is desired to be expecting to be progressing. So now, when did Six Sigma start? Six Sigma was started in 1986 in Motorola. So Motorola was one of the predominant companies who were doing good. But however, they find that they were little behind when compared to Japanese companies, and they were also had a situation where one of the customers was shouting, and because of which 10 potential customers lost. So now, but Six Sigma wanted to understand how is it possible for Japanese to work upon much better when compared to the American company. So a pool of talents, engineers from America went to Japanese company to understand the actual happening of Japanese, where they understood there's something variance, scrap, and also working upon customer satisfaction. These are the major tools which they learned, and they came back, and with the Ed, Mr. Bill Smith, who is also called as a father of Six Sigma, introduced it in Motorola to get successful. The money that they saved after implementing Six Sigma is more than $4 million. So that is why Six Sigma started getting famous, and today Six Sigma is used on many important companies by for their implement. So what is Six Sigma? It is a business methodology that is a tool, management tool to increase business profit. It also is to eliminate the defects by statistical methodologies by doing analysis, to also to understand the six standard deviations from of an event from the mean that to occur. That is, from the mean is nothing but an ideal solution where the average of should be in an optimal position. But we also check whether it is minus or above plus 3 standard deviation or minus 3 standard deviation to understand that how the team is progressing. So this would definitely help you to reduce your defects. And simple example is that if you are working in a company where you find that the quality rejections are really high when compared to any other products. So the first question is, why does the quality rejection occur? So we will all have an answer, but what are the methodologies to eliminate it? By using a appropriate tool, appropriate technique is what you will be learned. And also understand and remember, when you know there is a problem and when you know a root cause of the problem, the reason the problem occurs, it is easier to implement an action plan. However, but when you know, or when you know the problem but you don't know why the problem occurs, it is important to do a Six Sigma to understand how to identify the root cause of the failures. Root cause as a term defines, it is hidden and it is not quite evident. So you need to use appropriate statistical tools like 7QC tools, hypothesis testing, ANOVA testing, chi-square testing, regression testing, different tools of statistics to understand and analyze the reason for the failure. So the same failure can be eradicated and the improvement opportunities will be observed. So now let's talk about the benefits that you will be receiving from a Six Sigma. As a Six Sigma is a management approach, it is easier to improve your managed performance. It helps you and works towards eliminating the defects in every step of the project. It's not about one particular area that you will be working upon. It will be that throughout the project, throughout the process of the company, you will be checking for the non-value adds or the defects occurring places and the severity of the defects, which would definitely help you to improve your business strategy and also work towards error-free processes. Today, as we customers, when we produce a product or when we purchase a product from the company, the one important thing that they expect is the product should meet my expectations. So if there is a product which does not meet my expectations, the next time I do not even turn around my product or turn around towards my head towards that particular product. The same wise, if the company is not able to satisfy the customer needs, irrespective of whichever big or how much ever big that your company is, you will still fail. When there is a defect in the product, it will definitely not satisfy any customers. So it is important to reduce the defects and improvise the performance. Can you share the PPT? We'll check and then come back to you. Definitely, I think we can share it. We'll come back to you after the session. So now let's talk about the focus area. What actually Six Sigma does. Six Sigma has three methodologies, as I already told you. One is DMAC, another one is DMADOV, another one is DFSS. So DMAC is a five-step process which talks about defining the problem, measuring the data, analyzing the solution, analyzing the problem root cause, identifying a solution, implementing a solution, and controlling the process failures, and improving the performance and controlling the process failures. So this one is called DMAC, and the next one is called DMADOV, which is about for any new processes, any new businesses that you're planning to do, and you want to start it with Six Sigma itself. Then you can use define, measure, analyze, optimize, verify, and control. So DMADOV is for any new processes. DMAC is for the existing companies or existing processes where you find defects to be higher and you want to work upon. There you can use this DMAC approach, which is DMAIC: define, measure, analyze, improve, control. But if you have a company where like you're already optimal at a 4.5 or above Six Sigma level, and you wanted to make it furthermore better, you wanted to increase the design itself of the company, then you will say design for Six Sigma, DFSS, which is about improvising your company from being better to good, to best rather. So these are the three area of focuses. But our work to start off with in Breed Batch, you would be completely focusing on DMAC. So DMAC is nothing but define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So define. The define has different tools in it. However, the major scope of work in define is the problem identification, and also to identify and emphasize the risk that is involved in the business. If the risk is not mitigated now, what would the sequence, what would be the problem for the company? So that is what, to find the problem, to define the problem through the customer analysis. We also identify what does the customer wants. In this phase, the team usually identifies the questions: what is the current problem and what my customer wants, what are my customer needs are. Then once you identify the problem, you move on to a measure phase. In measure phase, we evaluate the last 3 months or 6 months data based on the availability, and we also identify whether the process is capable of meeting the customer expectations. If you remember a few minutes earlier, I said stability, normality, capability. So the capability is the first step. We will check whether the process is capable of identifying or meeting the customer needs. Then we will check for a stability, which is not, then we will check for a normality, which is nothing but to understand if there is any special cause or if there is any common cause. Let me give you a quick example for a normal cause. A person wants to reach his office at 8:55 every day, but however much he tries, either he comes at 8:50 or he comes at 9 o'clock. Though he is not able to meet the exact target, there is a plus of my 5 minus in the time. It is called a common cause because generally that's how he comes at 8:55 or at max at 9 o'clock, as early as 8:50 or as late as 9 o'clock. However, there are few days where if he comes at 8:30 itself to work, or if he comes at 9:30, which is very unexpected to happen, which does not happen often, but there for certain special reasons he has come early or he is coming too late. In that case, we call it as a special case. See, a common case variation is still acceptable. However, a special case is always a threat to a company. In this case, a person coming late on one day does not make a difference. But imagine if your product or imagine if you are in a medical industry and you are producing a medicine, and due to a special case, the mixture of components can always be risk of a human life. A normality is which is within the limitations, but special causes are something which is quite alarming. So it is important in Six Sigma to understand whether the process is stable and it is normal, and whether the process is capable of meeting the requirements. So we will teach you how to do all this in your measure phase. Then we will move on to analyze phase. We also do data collection in measure phase and then analyze the data. In analyze, we will identify why the problem occurs. In Six Sigma, we always call the problem as y, and we say the formula is equals to y is equals to f of x. F of x is nothing but the function of x. See, y can happen because of one particular x or there are multiple x's. So we analyze what is the problem, what is the root cause of the problem, what is the x of the problem, and then we will try to eradicate the x. And there are different tools which you need to use in this analyze phase. There's something called 7QC tools, hypothesis testing, and also like correlation testing, regression testing. So which you will be taught in your black belts and green belts according to the requirements. And here in analyze space, we will also not only, as I mentioned earlier, we will not only teach in Excel, we also give you a hands-on training in Minitab, so which would be quite helpful for your careers as a Six Sigma professionals down the line. Once you complete identifying the root cause of the defects, you will move on to Improphase, where you will identify the solution plans and implement the plans, and you will check whether the process is improving. And you will also use a tool called PDCA, Plan Do Check Act, which is otherwise called as a Edwards Deming cycle here, to understand the process currently happening, the process mapping which is currently happening, and the performance, how well the process has reduced the variation, whether the variations or the defects that which you identified has been removed, and how was it improving on a week on week or a month on basis. Once the process is improved, it is important that the action plans that we give are not only corrective, it is also preventive. In Six Sigma terminologies, we call them as kappa, corrective and preventive action. So we implement this corrective and preventive action, and also we have a regular check on the defects to ensure that the performance is up to the standard. So it's a one-time activity. However, in control phase, you will be checking it on a regular basis to identify whether the process is working on the desired or the optimal level which is expected. Am I clear so far? Do you have any questions? I give you a minute. If you have any questions, you can type or you can ask.
Yeah, clear, clear.
Thank you. All right. So now, where is Six Sigma applied? I would say Six Sigma is applied in any area of focus. You may be in IT, you may be in purchase, you may be in production, you may be in design, you may be in service, you may be in HRM. Any department that you work for, yes, there is a scope of opportunity. There is Six Sigma can be implemented. Wherever that you have a data point, you can definitely work upon implementing Six Sigma. And Six Sigma is not only for quality, it's for any department. And you can reduce even people leaving the company for by doing a Six Sigma project. So Six Sigma is for any company. Yes, there is a link where you can download Minitab and use a trial version of Minitab, and you can run it in your systems. And how do we design what frame? The, the best of framework is like if you are working upon, there are two different frameworks that which you should remember. The one is Lean Six Sigma, where like you will not only reduce the variation, you will also eliminate waste. Waste we usually call lean as steamboats, overproduction, wastage of time, improvement, so movement, motion, so all that can be included. So you can use a lean Six Sigma, which we will be teaching you in your Six Sigma methodology. Or if you are working upon towards a new method, then you can use a DMAC. So you can use any one of the methods that you have. Or if you working towards a software app related, then you can use a DMAC to understand what is the problem, why is the optimal utilization of the app is, if there is any sequences or any defects the app provides. From that data, you can definitely work upon. Am I clear? Thank you. So now let's move on to applying Six Sigma in different industries. See, what are the different places that you can work upon? If you are in banking industry, the first thing is to reduce the cycle time. It's not only for loan application, but also for customers to receive money or deposit money in your account. Even the teller time can be reduced. It can improve the streamline of evaluation system, because like today or in the competitive world, it is important to have your streamline done, and it was reduce the time of account opening process, improve the efficiency, most importantly, improve your customer satisfaction level, and also to reduce the specific, increase the market share for a specific product in a particular place. So how it would be done? That is what we will be teaching towards a course of this 28 or 36 hours of green belt and black belt that you will be taking upon. And before I proceed, I'll give you a simple understanding of green belt and black belt, how far it is different. See, there are few tools which would be theoretical in green belt. In black belt, it would be a practical as well. For example, when we talk about correlation testing, ANOVA, for example, ANOVA is called as a analysis of variance. There is something called single ANOVA, multiple variance ANOVA. So single would be considered in green belt when multiple would be in black belt. As the level enhances, the equipment level enhances as well. So in case of any manufacturing industry, it helps you to reduce basis, as I keep saying, reducing inventory, because like inventory and waste is always correlated. I'll just finish this and answer this question for capability, if it's okay. So you should always understand that reducing the inventory will help you to reduce waste. The more inventory use, there's opportunity of more waste. And then we also work upon increasing your production, because like more production capability, which helps you to have a maximum utilization of your employees, reduce the manufacturing cost by working upon unnecessary reworks, improve the accuracy and timeliness for customer communication, satisfaction level, and the market share. So, irrespective of any industry that you work upon, you can definitely work on this particular areas. Yeah, how to calculate process capability. See, we will teach you process capability in green belt. Uh, We always say the process should be capable of meeting one. There's a formula which is used to it, and there's a methodology to use it. So we will general definition of process capability is to identify whether the process is potential to meet up the customer expectations. So we will definitely teach you the formula, and we will share the documents and the methodologies to use in your training course. Thank you. So is this presentation available to read? I think it should be possible. I will definitely get this shared and checked. So now for the telecom industry, what does it happen? It helps you to uh, okay. There is a link which is given in the chat box to fill in to get from the webinar PPT. This PPT would be shared to you if you just fill the link. So I request you, if you think that you need the PPT, I request you to please update your details there so we can get it shared. Thank you. So now, in case of a telecom industry, what happens is like if you need to have to meet up a new feature according to the accuracy of levels of timeline of communication, customer satisfaction, to reduce any time, any wait time, reduce the wait time of a customer, reduce the compliance time of a customer, reduce the time to satisfy the customer's compliance, and reduce the time to pick up the customer calls, answering time of a customer. So all these can be worked upon. And in case of any hospitality industry, reducing the waste from process, reducing wait time of dining services, and also to think about the services out of the way to produce the best way to customer and reduce cost for any new services. All these areas where you can work upon. So this is for pharmaceutical industry where you can reduce new when reducing waste in development of new drugs and processes, improvise the quality of the product, shorter delivery time to the market, and increase financial support and price reduction for the process as well. So you can use your Six Sigma for any one of this food industry to reduce waste, to reduce the wait time of the dining service, to enhance the quality of packaging in terms of a delivery, and also to adhering to delivering schedules. So you can work upon any one this particular area or all of this particular area for your particular companies. So the companies who hire Six Sigma professionals, so you just have a list of them. I give a minute to go you to go through. And we, as I mentioned earlier with Henry Arvin, we have tie up with companies where we would be referring our students to apply. So we request you to use this. Can we use DMAC in trading houses? Definitely, you can use in waste management, because our focus is to reduce waste and increase the efficiency. So definitely, you can use that. Probably a wrong delivery, for example, or a delay in delivery can be also one of the areas can be worked upon. Is it clear? So now these are the different phases of Six Sigma, as I already mentioned: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So what are the different tools we'll be teaching to you on different stages of Six Sigma? So to start off with, in define, we will talk about project scope. We also teach you what are different type of scopes that you can use: in scope, out scope, where to work upon. It is important to work within the in scope because out scope is something which you cannot have. Yeah, you can use in your family businesses, provided the family business has the option of identifying defects as well. So a project charter is something which is otherwise called as a Bible, I would say, for any project. It will give you a complete end-to-end guidelines of what needs to be done, what is the focus. Anybody who asks you about the project can be just go through a project charter, will be able to understand what it is. And the most important and defined phase is the business impact. How well the business is going to be impacted and by or get benefited because of what is how well the business is impacted now and after the end of the Six Sigma project, how well it is going to be benefited. And you will be taught about voice of the customer, how to identify the voice of the customer and change that as a CTQ called as a critical to quality. We'll teach you how to convert the voice of the customer into a CTQ and work towards it. And we also teach you something called affinity diagram, which is one of the 7 new QC tools which has come into picture. And there's a Cano model. Cano model is talks about the satisfaction level of the customers, how to enhance your customer satisfaction. And CTQ tree. CTQ is nothing but a critical to quality. If these are not attributes are not attained, it will be difficult. So we consider them to be a critical to quality. We'll teach you how to identify critical to quality as well. Once you complete this upon, you will move on to measure phase. In measure phase, we'll teach you how to work upon a high level process map. What is a process map? How to work on a high level process map. From there, as I mentioned earlier, you work upon the previous data. So we'll teach you how to work upon process data collection. And as I mentioned, capability, stability, normality. So process capability will be taught. Most importantly, you will be taught about measurement system analysis, where you will be identifying the opportunities and to of the data collections, how the data is collected, how well the data should be accurate because of your project based is based on the data collected. Then we also talk to you about role throughput yield, which we will help. Do we have a PPT for the subject you delivering as a reference point? Yeah, we do have PPTs that which is being uploaded in LMS portal. You will have a LMS portal. LMS is a learning management system tool. 1 minute. I'm sorry. Upon enrolling, you would get access to LMS. LMS will not only have the PPTs, it will also have the video modules of your training session and other training sessions also. So you can learn from different set of videos, trainers, how the concept is explained, how it is calculated, and it's a lifetime access. So you can refer to those modules any point of time. With all the classes are recorded, and the PPTs can be shared as well. So you will have access for LMS, so you can go ahead and learn it. Yes, you can use it on training businesses and traditional businesses. Depends on what type of traditional business that you are into. But there is no way I would say there is no place that Six Sigma cannot be implemented. Everywhere and anywhere Six Sigma can be implemented. So these are the different tools that I was talking about, like which we will be teaching you in analysis phase. So multivariate analysis, cause and effect diagram, hypothesis testing, alpha error, beta error, ANOVA, as I mentioned, analysis of variance, how to reduce noise variables. Scatter plots is something to talk about correlation, design of experiments. If you're into manufacturing industry, how to work on your design of experiments. And again, in the improve phase, we'll also explain about DOE in clear. Then you'll have fractional and response surface as well. Okay. How do trading is used? Trading is used in terms of what type of trading you are doing. If it's going to be any business like delay in process delivery or product delivery or the customer satisfaction level, or if you're into this financial tradings, then talks about like the stock exchange. Then you can talk about the successful percentage of stock exchange. What is the predictably success? All that can be considered upon basis the thing that you are into. Traditional business, I'm not sure which traditional business you're talking about, but so I will not be able to give you an example as such. So if you want to have a specific example, you can ping me on one. I can explain that as well. So moving on to control phase. Control is nothing but where we talk about the statistical process control to understand whether the process is in control, whether the process is operating within the standards of operating. and we also do a check to evaluate the processes time and again working upon the requirements. So this all factors will be taught to you in your Six Sigma sessions. And if you have any questions, I will stop here so that you can ask me. Yeah, since I have a question, I'll answer. I'm involved in purchasing waste plastic. Yeah, now you can talk about what type of waste that you purchase, and is there any cost involved into it? If you can get that, replacements can be done, or if can be recycling can be done. Or what does the time it take for selling the product? Can you work upon the time selling, a reduction of time selling, or the quality and the cost of the cost benefits of the company? So all that can be discussed. And if you're working in a labor intensive process like foundry processes, definitely you can work upon like the success ratio. What is the success ratio? What is the turnaround time to take the success? All that can be implemented, but we see so many challenges matching the price of the. Then if it's going to be with buy and sell, then we have to talk about the prediction here and understand what are the different methodologies that where we will be able to implement this. Yeah, you I want to implement this here. Definitely you can implement considering the past 3 to 6 months data. You have to analyze what are the different type of stocks have different type of price, and what is the fluctuation in ratings, I mean the selling price. Based on that you will be able to correlate. So that's what when I spoke about correlation analysis, you will be able to get an idea from that. Yeah, see, if you have a lot of intervention between manual process, you can work upon what does of manual, what type of manual intervention does it require? Is it timely, or is it time taking consuming activity, or it is going to be reduction of waste, or what type of activity does it involve? The manual intervention is required. So is there opportunity for because of manual intervention the work can go wrong? If there's opportunity for defect, then you can work upon reducing the defects. If there's opportunity for how to do control rejection, I'm sorry, let me finish off that question minute. So if you have a question towards there's a defect because of manual interventions, then you can work towards that. Or if you have a time taking just because of manual intervention, you can work upon reducing the time. Or if you want to have the improvement of quality by manual intervention, you can do all that. All these areas can be done. So how to do control rejection? First, we have to analyze what are the reason for control. I'm sorry, what is the reason for rejections? Is it a process, or is it a product, or is it a machine? Then we have to go ahead and evaluate it based on that. As I told you, there are different tools to analyze. There are different tools to analyze the rejections. So we will use something, for example, we will use a Pareto analysis, which is a 80-20 concept, to understand what are the 80% of the problem which is occurring because of the 20% of the failures, and we'll work upon that. Working in a management consulting firm, definitely it is useful for a management consulting firm, because like there is always opportunity for people going rejected in a company after interview. Why is it happening? Or the main management trainees are not successful. Why are they not successful? The time taken to train a person, or is there can be a quantification of that. So all that can be definitely worked upon. Performance of labor can be different from different labor. Exactly. So like you need to work upon the performance, as in what type of performance that your labor have, how it is calculated, whether the unit of measurements of success is defined. If the success is defined, how are you going to have the CTQ? What is your customer expectations from there? It has to go on a copies. See, there's something called SIPOC, which is a supplier improved process output capable customer. So where we will talk about from the supplier to the customer, how does the product movement, what actually happens, and where is the focus done. So if it's in case of a customer related, for example, a call center or a BPO employee, then we will say corpus. The transaction starts from the customer and it ends with supplier. So based on that, we will do a step-by-step process mapping and identify what are the non-value adds or what are the area of focus. Based on that, you will be able to work on any industry. Is there any standard for minimum number of Six Sigma per GB person in a unit? I would say like not required. It can be even a 5-member, 6-member company. You can do a Six Sigma project, because Six Sigma does not talk about the employee count. It talks about the money saving and eliminating waste. It's not required that it have to be minimum 100. It can be even a 10% employee company can do Six Sigma project to get them benefited. Is there any other question? Okay. I take that as no, so let me proceeding. So as I was telling you about 7 quality tools which will be talking and which will be teaching to you during the course of, it's called cause and effect diagram, otherwise called as a fishbone diagram. Histogram. Histogram talks about the spread of data, how the data is spread and how well can you understand the concept. And next we have Pareto, as I told you, 80-20 concept. To understand the 80% of the failure occurs because of the 20% of the force. Control chart is to identify whether your process is in control. See, I mentioned about stability, capability, normality. With the control chart, you will be able to do that. I spoke about process mapping. With the flow chart, you will be able to understand the process flow. And we will have scatter plot. As I mentioned, there is something called correlation to understand. So that's what will be done with scatter plot. Check sheet is to evaluate the basic requirements as such. So these 7 QC tools will be taught to you in respect of any sessions that you take, and it will help you to identify your problems. One more time, a question. What about safety? You mean to say safety industry? Yes, definitely you can take that way because like there's a lot of challenges involved. Like, what are the safety? What type of safety are you talking about? You're talking about human safety or product safety. So, irrespective of both, you will be able to go ahead and use that. Implement Six Sigma. Once again, I'm mentioning there is a link to get for like if you need a PPT, I request you to fill this form, which has been updated by every Harvin person. It would help us to send this PPT shared with you. Any questions so far? So Pareto analysis, it's called as Wilfredo Pareto analysis. It's named after the person Pareto or Wilfredo Pareto who identified it. It talks about 80-20 principle where 80% of the problem can be because of the correct 20. So if you work on this 20% of the failures, your 80% of your failures will automatically reduced. And we'll teach you how to make this. This is an example of a Pareto chart, how to make it on a step by step in Excel as well as in Excel. We'll teach you even in 2008 or 2006, whichever version you have. 2010 we'll teach you, and simultaneously you'll be taught in Minitab how to go. There's a tab called Stats. In Statistics, in Stats tab, you will have a tab Quality Tool. In Quality Tool, you have to select Pareto chart. So we'll teach you live in your sessions when you start, once you enroll, and then we move on to cause and effect, otherwise called as a fishbone, where the head of the bone is about the effect or the failures and what are the different causes. If you remember, I told you about Six Sigma is always y is equals to f of x. So this is a y where y the effect is occurring and what could be the major reason for the failures. That would be the x. So we'll teach you how to correlate. It also it's defined by Japanese industrial standards. It explains the relationship between the quality and the factors. Because of this is a problem that occurs. And next we have flowchart. Flowchart is nothing but the breaking down the process into a step-by-step process, and which helps us to identify the time consuming, error consuming, and where the problem is. So we also teach you what are the different tools that you need to use in flowchart, different symbols that you can use. We can see cause and effect diagram and histogram slide, please. Histogram, I do not have it here, but I can share that with you if you require. This is the cause and effect diagram. So, flowchart is talking about baking into step by step and to identify the non-value adds which can be removed, and also it will help you to improvise your performance. So these are the different structures as we discussed. To start off with, a person who's aware, it's called yellow belt. Who's uses the tool is called green belt. A full-time project leader is a black belt, and a master black belt. So these are the different opportunities that you will have on the market. So once you get certified on all this, that will be definitely helpful because you can definitely excel in your career. It has a lot of job opportunities on the market, and which would enhance your training in the future. So the program cost and details, the training fees, only the training fee is 7,999, and then we have videos which is for 7,999, and the examination fee is 2,999, and the certification from Henry Arvin costs you 6,000. However, benefits of this is you will have a lifetime access. As I mentioned, Joe, there is a e-learning portal, and there is a boot camp which happens every month, and unlimited access to multiple trainers. So the overall cost value is 41,999. However, currently you will pay only 17,500. However, since we are in the beginning of the financial year, we have a early bird offer. To receive this early bird offer, there is a link which is given in the chat box. You can either click that and update it. You will receive a substantial amount of saving in your overall cost. It will be further down. Or you can also talk to your coordinators, or you can give the board number. Any one of our representatives will be able to help you with the early bird offer. You have to all tell them it's early bird offer. What is the course duration for green belt is 28 hours of live class plus continuous board class sessions. For a black belt, it is 36 hours of live session. So the cost is comparatively lesser because like earlier it was 41,999. Now it is reduced to 17,500 considering the COVID and other situations. However, we still have a early bird offer. We ask you, we appreciate you, encourage you to avail this offer as much as possible. In case of any queries, you can always call us as 901-526-6266. Any one of our representatives will be definitely happy to help you. In case of any questions, you can definitely welcome to ask us any point of time. So now how to register? There's a batch which starts for weekend batch starts next Saturday at 17th April, and weekday batch starts at 21st of April, Monday. So you want to talk to, you can call any one of these numbers. People will be great to help you. Always looking forward. Or if you already have a coordinator, you can talk to the coordinator and avail the early bird offer. How to enroll? If you can just click this link, you will be able to do that as well. So also, we request you to give our feedbacks, appreciate any suggestions. You can click on any one of this and follow us on our social media for our live updates. Any questions so far?
Praveen, Nawabjan here.
Yes, sir.
How this Lean Six Sigma can be utilized for some EHS data evaluation? If somebody has done it,
I'm sorry. Can you just repeat your question?
how this EHS Six Sigma can
Hello, hello. Nawab sir, can you hear me? Hello. Others, can you hear me? I'm not able to hear him.
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
I'm sorry. His voice cut off. I was not able to hear him all of a sudden. There's an education assessment organization. Yes, Henry Arvin is registered company, and this certification is valid. It is valid. Rahul sir, yes, it is valid, sir. I'm sorry, Nawab sir, you have to type your question. I guess I'm not able to hear it. If you are able to hear me, I request you to type your question. Is it possible to do black belt without working experience? See, your directly you cannot do black belt, but you can take a combo black with GB and BB, and we will give you a exposure in terms of projects. So your working experience doesn't have to work upon that. You don't have to have a work experience, but I recommend do not directly go to BP because you will not have the basics knowledge. Take a combo back where you have GB and BB. How Six Sigma can be used for safety data analysis. So definitely you can use Six Sigma in terms of any terminology. And as far as safety is concerned, you can consider what type of hazards do you have. Is it a health hazard or is it a pollution hazard? What type of hazards can you have? What are the things that can impact the safety? And you can work upon eliminating the hazards, or you can work upon improving the safety measures. Also, you can do about reduction of time in terms of implementing the safety measures as well. And overall quality of safety can be improved. So all these places you can use Six Sigma. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions that if you have, I'm happy to answer. In case of no questions, again, let me reiterate there is an early bird offer. Please, I request you to take it up. Please click on the link or contact your coordinator anytime. Thank you so much for your valuable time. All the best for your future. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. You're welcome.